Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So in today's lesson we are going to learn about Tashdeed. You can see that on the screen it is written Tashdeed and there is a small W sign besides it. So this W sign is called Tashdeed. As we learned earlier in the previous lesson when we were learning about Jazm, the quiescent, there was a small curve, okay, the reversed C. That was the quiescent sign, the Jazm sign. Okay, so how do we identify Tashdeed? We identify Tashdeed with a W sign over a letter. Okay, now understand what is a Tashdeed. It is written sign of duplication. What does this mean? So, it means that the Tashdeed letter is not a single letter. It is a single letter which is to be read twice. Means there are two similar letters merged together. Okay, I will explain. See the first example. You can see that it is Alif Zabar A and then you have Ba Zabar B. But you can see that there is a Tashdeed on the Ba. So it is not a single Ba. So when we open it, how do we write? I am writing on the screen. So it is Alif, the first Ba is with a Jazm. When we open the Tashdeed, okay, pay attention. When we write first Ba, it is always a quiescent letter. In Tashdeed, the Tashdeed letter has one letter with a quiescent sign and another letter is mutaharrik. You have a zabar over the ba, so we will place a zabar over the ba. So how do we read this? We read Alif Ba Zabar Ab, Ba Zabar Ba, Ab. Without the Tashdeed, how will we read? Alif Zabar A, Ba Zabar Ba, Ab. But with the Tashdeed, how will we read? Ab. Why? Because in Tashdeed, there is a quiescent letter hidden. Okay, so this is called the sign of duplication. Means the Tashdeed letter has to be duplicated. One is a quiescent letter which is to be joined with the predecessor which is dependent on the predecessor. Because in the Jazm lesson, we had learned that the quiescent letter, the Jazm letter is dependent on the predecessor. So we will join the Ba with the Alif and then the Ba itself. Alif Ba Zabar Ab, Ba Zabar Ba, Ab, Ab. Okay, then we see the next word. It is Alif Zabar A, but we have a Tashdeed over the Ba. So we will not only read Alif Zabar A, we have to join one Ba with the Alif. So we will join Alif Ba Zabar Ab and then as the Ba has Zair, so we will say Ba Zair B. Okay, see on the screen I am placing a Zair over the Ba. And how do we read it? Alif Ba Zabar Ab, Ba Zair B, Abbi. Okay, now see the third one. It is Alif Ba Zabar Ab and then we have Ba Pesh Bu, Abbu, Abbu. Without the Tashdeed, how will we read? Abu. Alif Zabar A, Ba Pesh Bu, Abu. But with the Tashdeed, we have to join the Ba with the Alif and then the Ba itself. Because they are two Ba. Alif Ba Zabar Ab, Ba Pesh Bu, Abbu. Okay. So now did you understand why is Tashdeed called the sign of duplication? Remember one thing, that Tashdeed letter is to be read with a strong and sharp voice so that the Tashdeed, the duplication is clear. If we read it with a soft voice, then the duplication is not clear. Like if I say Abu, this is not sharp. The voice is not sharp. Okay, I cannot hear the Ba, the duplication of the Ba. That is why we have to read it with a strong and sharp voice. Abu, Abba, Abbi, Abbu. Okay, so this is called the Tashdeed. Okay, so now read with me. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alif Ba Zabar Ab, Ba Zabar B, Ab. Alif Ba Zabar Ab, Ba Zair B, Abbi. Alif Ba Zabar Ab, Ba Pesh Bu, Abbu. Alif Ta Zabar At, Ta Zabar T, At. Alif Ta Zabar At, Ta Zair Ti, Atti. Alif Ta Zabar At, Ta Pesh Tu, Attu. Okay, so I did the hijay for the first line. Now I am reading without the hijay. And whichever word you find it difficult, you should definitely do the hijay and find out how to pronounce it. Okay. See the second line. As, as. It is not as. it is as, assi, assu, ajj, ajji, ajju, ah, ahi, ahu. I'm doing the hijja of ah. It is alif ha zabar ah. Then you have ha zabar ha. Ah. It is not ah. It is ah. Ah. Okay. Ah. Ahi. Ahu. Akh. Akhi. Akhu. Add. Addi. Addu. Azza. Azzi. Azzu. Arra. Arri. Arru. You can see with the vibration, you can make out that it is a duplication. Okay, the ra is getting duplicated. Alif ra zabar ar, ra zabar ra, arra, arra, arri, arru, azza, azzi, azzu, ass, assi, assu, ash, ashi, ashu, assa, assi, assu, adwa. See, now these are the heavy letters. Okay, so the heavy letters should sound heavy when even if they are duplicated. Adwa, adwi, addu, atwa, atwi, atwi, attu, adwa, adwi, adwu, See, this is a little bit difficult. It is alif, ain, zabar, a. First there is alif sound, a, and then you have to join the ain sound to it. Okay. I, u, agwa, agli, aggu, aff, affi, affu, aqqa, aqqi, aqqu, akka, akki, akku, alla, alli, allu, amma. Okay, here there is a different ruling that you have to understand. When there is a tashdeed over the meme, okay, the tashdeed letter is called a mushaddad. So when you have meme mushaddad and noon mushaddad, so there should be a gunna. Now what is a gunna? Gunna means to drag a voice in the nose. When I say you can hear that my voice is entering my nose. Okay, so this is called the gunna. That should be barely for half second or 1 second, not more than that. Okay, so it is You cannot do the gunna in any other letter like no, that is not even possible. The gunna is to be done only in meme mushaddad and noon mushaddad. Okay, so it is ammi, ammu, anna, anni, annu, awwa, awwi, awwu, aha, ahi, ahu. Many people make mistakes in this. They say aha, ahi, ahu. No, you have to duplicate the ha. Alif ha zabar ah, ha zabar ha, aha, ahi, ahu, ayya, ayyi, ayyu. Okay, so now let's move on to the exercise of this. We will practice some words which has the tashdeed. Okay, now see the first word. I will do the hijja of it. Okay, you can see that there is a ba pesh bu, but there is a tashdeed over the ra. So you cannot read only ba pesh bu. You have to join the ra with the ba, because the first ra, in ra there are two ra. Okay, so the first ra is a quiescent ra which is dependent upon ba. So the ba cannot be selfish and read by itself. It has to help ra. Okay, so how do we read it? Ba ra pesh bur, then ra zer ri, burri, za zabar za, burriza, burriza. Okay, see the next word, ha. We cannot read only ha pesh hu because sod is a tashdeed sod, mushaddad sod. So we have to join the first quiescent sod with the ha. So how do we read it? Ha sod pesh hus, sod zir si, hussi lam zabar la, hussila, hussila. Then we have sod, dal zabar sod, dal zabar da, sod da, qaf zabar qa, saddaqa, saddaqa. Then you have the fourth word, ain dal zabar ad, dal zabar da, adda. Then again dal zabar da, addada. So you can see that you have two dal on the screen, but when you open the tashdeed, you get 3 dal. So total 3 dal in the one single word. Okay. So the first dal is the quiescent dal, the second is the dal with the zabar, and the third is with the dal with the zabar. Okay, so how do we read it? First we will join the quiescent dal with the ain dal zabar ad, dal zabar da, adda. Okay, so the first dal is over, which has a tashdeed. Now look at the second dal, that is dal zabar da, addada. Okay, addada. Then we have qaddara, qaddara. I am repeating the first line, burriza, hussila, saddaqa, addada, qaddara, kazzaba, na'ama, na'ama. It is not na'ama, it is na'ama. Yadhunnu. There should be a gunna in the noon mushaddad. Yadhunnu. Yahuddu, yahuddu. Jannatin, jannatin. Dharratin, dharratin. Quwwatin, karratun. Su'irat, su'irat. Qaddamat, qaddamat. You can see that in su'irat and qaddamat, the last letter, that is the ta, is a quiescent ta. Okay, so that is a quiescent. We had a separate lesson upon the quiescent that I have taught you earlier. So qaddamat, kadhabat, zuwijat, sujjirat, fujjirat, suyirat, attilat, attilat, kuvirat, tattali'u, tattali'u, tuhaddisu, tuhaddisu, nuyassiru, nuyassiru, humul bayyinatu. Let me do the hijjah of this. Ha pesh hu. Now we cannot read only mim pesh mu, because as we can see, the next letter is a quiescent letter which is dependent upon mim. So we will join the lam with the mim. Mim lam pesh mul. We will drop the alif because alif is a empty letter. Okay, and it doesn't even have a zabar before it. Okay, so it is not even alif madda. So we have to join the mim with the lam directly and drop the alif in between. So it is mim lam pesh mul, humul, ba ya zabar bay, humul bay, ya zir yi, humul bayyi, noon zabarna, humul bayyina, ta pesh tu, humul bayyinatu. So this is the way of doing the hijjah, means you have to first pronounce one letter and join it with the previous, then another letter, join it with the previous. You cannot directly say ha pesh hu, mim lam pesh mul, ba ya zabar bay, ya zir yi, nun zabar na, ta pesh tu. No, this is not the way of doing the hijjah. Okay, you have to read each letter and keep on joining one letter gradually. So ha pesh hu, mim lam pesh mul, humul, ba ya zabar bay, ya humul bay, ya zir yi, humul bayyi, noon zabarna, humul bayyina, ta pesh tu, humul bayyinatu. Then you have qayyimatun, qayyimatun, ashiyatan, ashiyatan, muzakkirun, muzakkirun, aisyana. Okay, now look at this. It is alif ya zabar ay, You cannot read only ya zabar ya. Because in alif madda we have read, what is a alif madda? Alif madda is a alif with a zabar before it. So this alif cannot be dropped. Why? Because this is a alif with a zabar before it. So it is alif madda. So you have to say alif ya zabar I and ya alif zabar ya, ayya, then noon zabar na, ayyana, ayyana. Then you have iyak, iyak. Many people do mistake in this. They say iyak. It is not iyak. It is iyak. There should be a duplication of the ya and it should be clear. Then you have lillahi, lillahi. Tajalla, tajalla. You can see that lam has a khada zabar, the standing zabar over it. So we have to drop the ya because ya doesn't even have a quiescent and it doesn't even have any harka over it. Okay, so that is the letter to be skipped. So it is ta zabar ta, jim lam zabar jal, tajal, lam khada zabar la, tajalla. Then you have taswadda, taswadda, tazakka.